Welcome back to the channel, family. It's your guy Trip 5, back again with another creepy video compilation. Make sure you guys like the video, and if you're new, subscribe so you can join the family. We're building a community over here. Oh yeah, and if you guys want to support me, check out my ebook. The link is in the description below. It's a really good book that you can always go back to for guidance if needed. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video, y'all.
Do you need help, sir? It's a frog.
That can go like that.
Who wants to take the frog?
Like this. It's nothing, okay? It's my burn. Just like this.
For our sound recordist, it was also a shocker. He then took our newspaper outside and showed us how chi can also be used to set things on fire.
What color was kindergarten?
Kindergarten?
Yeah, when you was in kindergarten or pre-K, what color was it?
Ooh.
It was every color.
Yeah, I was gonna say rainbow.
Okay, now when you went to first to second grade, what color was it?
I don't know.
It was bland.
Yeah.
It was that color.
Yeah, it was just
Like jail.
Exactly. Then when you went to high school, what color was it?
Like jail.
Yeah.
Okay, then when you went to work, what color was the wall?
Yeah.
It's waning you off the frequency. When you a kid, you vibrant, you running around, and then the first thing they do is they say, wane them off the frequency. Make the walls tan, make everything tan, make it boring. Sit down, don't move. They just get you right out of spirituality. And then the next time that you do get introduced to a colorful environment, guess where you at? You in a club. If the club was this color, nobody would go. But since it's black and it's universal light, aka from red to purple, it feel like you in a universe. It feel like you in a universe. So this is why people like the club. It's called colorology. Even hunger. Hunger is triggered by the color red, yellow, and orange. What color is Wendy's?
Yeah.
What color is
McDonald's.
Chick-fil-A, McDonald's? Every highly successful fast food franchise, I guarantee you, if they not all red, orange, and yellow, they have either one of them colors at a high value.
Yeah.
So this is people who literally socially engineer the world.
Color magic is a real thing. These people in power use these certain colors to control you. Certain colors carry a frequency as well. Some people even use these colors in business to their advantage. Blue symbolizes trust and honesty. And green can be used for health or maybe love. All of these colors have certain meanings that you could use to your ability. It plays a trick on your mind without you realizing it.
Harvey Weinstein is one of the worst sexual predators in American history, and he was able to get away with these horrific crimes for years, so let's take a look at his story. I'm going to warn you right now, we're going to go through some graphic details, so viewer discretion is advised. Harvey Weinstein was born in 1952 in Queens, New York. In his youth, he and his brother were concert promoters and brought a lot of musical acts to New York City, including bands like The Who and the Rolling Stones. And eventually, after making some money with his concert business, he and his brother started a film production company. This company was named Miramax, named after the Weinstein's parents, Miriam and Max. Miramax would go on to become one of the most successful companies in all of Hollywood. And I mean, just look at this. This is a sample of some of their films, from Scream to Tarantino films to No Country for Old Men. In the 90s and 2000s, you pretty much couldn't watch a good movie without seeing the Miramax logo up front. And this led Harvey Weinstein to have incredible power in Hollywood. I mean, this guy's touch was like the Midas touch. Pretty much anything he touched turned to gold. He and his brother just had this way of looking at movies where they could take even a bad movie and turn it into an overnight success. And people in Hollywood around this time said that they loved Harvey Weinstein. They were thanking him in all of their speeches at awards shows. They were claiming that he was one of the best people on the planet, that they loved him so much. Even people like Michelle and Barack Obama hosted him at one of their events. I mean, Harvey Weinstein was plugged up with the elitist of the elite. I don't know if that's how you say that. In 2005, Harvey and his brother left Miramax and started their own company, the Weinstein Company. And this company would also go on to produce a number of huge Hollywood films. And everything was going swell for Harvey. That is, until the year 2017. And also, before we get to that, I have to add in here that Harvey Weinstein was a hard supporter of Roman Polanski. He said that they should just let the case go and they should never charge Roman Polanski for what he did to a minor back in the 70s. So 2017 was a year of reckoning. And in October of that year, the New York Times and the New Yorker posted stories about various women that had come forward with allegations of assault against Harvey Weinstein. These had all been A-list Hollywood actresses that had been assaulted by Weinstein in public, in his hotel room, in his offices. And when this started coming out, I can remember people started to realize that Harvey Weinstein was an absolute monster. So according to all of these women that came forward, there was almost a pattern in Harvey Weinstein's assaults. He would invite promising actresses to come to his hotel room, his office, wherever he was staying, and he would act like this was going to be a business meeting or something that they had to come to. But when they would get there, he would be in a state of undress. He might have been in a bathrobe or in his underwear. He would ask them for a massage, and when they would say no, or even if they would participate in it, things would take a dark twist and he would then assault them. There were also dozens and dozens of other A-list celebrities and women who came forward who said that even though he hadn't physically assaulted them, he had harassed them so many times that they had to tell him to stop. There are also actresses out there that claim that because they rejected Harvey Weinstein's advances, he totally ruined their careers in Hollywood. He would go forth and make sure they could never work on a production in Hollywood, and he basically put a stop on their careers, even if they were getting really big. So this is really a story of power. Harvey Weinstein had so much unchecked power in Hollywood because he was such a successful producer and head of such a big studio that he was allowed to do whatever he wanted to. And in my opinion, lots and lots of people knew that this was going on, people that worked closely with Harvey, and they just chose to say nothing for so many years, which I think is just so utterly and completely disgusting. I also do want to note here as well that Harvey Weinstein was really good friends with Jeffrey Epstein, and he and Jeffrey had invested together in the past. So all this came to a head when on May 25th, 2018, Harvey Weinstein was finally arrested. And eventually, after the trial, Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison in New York, and he was set to serve his sentence out on Rikers Island, one of the most notorious prisons in all of America. Eventually, he was extradited to Los Angeles, where he took part in another trial, and just this year, he was sentenced to 16 more years in California. This means that his prison sentence is almost 40 years long, and hopefully he'll never see the light of day again. This is a story of power, of corruption, and how so much unchecked power can lead to some of the worst things imaginable. And it shows that even the elite members of our society aren't fully protected or given immunity from their crimes. And that even for Harvey Weinstein, when the bell tolls, sometimes you have to answer the call.
You know, that's a very deep story, and it shows you what power do when it gets to your head. You know, I'm not sure if everything of what he's saying is true, but most of it you can do research on him. Think about how many more people in power are doing this till this day, and they haven't been caught yet. Shit, I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy. But who knows if these people in power are really in prison? They could just be on an island or something chilling, and we just think they're in prison, but they really not.
Check this footage out, y'all. Crypto University here. This is one of the best pieces of footage that we've been able to get our hands on to show you guys. This is a legit Sasquatch that was recorded on a trail cam. And if you look closely, you can even see the gray on its beard. You can make out its nose and its facial features. Right now, it's just walking through the woods, throwing trees around. Check out that gray beard. You can see pieces of it right there, but you're going to keep watching. You're going to see most of his face. There he goes. Look at his nose. I'd say this is easily a 8 through 9 footer. This was recorded in East Texas. This is a legit Sasquatch, you guys. Look how wide the shoulders are. Check him out.
I'm a part of the hybridization program. My kids, the percentages in each child varies. You know, it can be 80% human and 20% ET, or vice versa, or 49-51.
I have 6 hybrid children that I know of, and I have met them. My first son is a reptilian, and I had a really nice experience with him and spent about 3 hours with him.
Some hybrids really look alien. Picture a young girl with very thin, straggly hair, but there is hair. A very small mouth, but it is a mouth. A nose, a tiny little nose, small little ears, a pointed chin.
Some of my kids look more human, some of them don't look so human. Cake doesn't look very human at all.
And then there's even another group who I call human hybrids. These are human in every way imaginable, and they are indistinguishable from other people.
What in the cannibalism did I just watch? KFC released this commercial, and it's probably the weirdest, maybe the most disturbing commercial I have ever seen. This commercial starts with this dude walking around the woods, and he makes eye contact with this chicken, and this is where things start to get really weird. This girl starts coming in and takes him to this cult-like ritual that's going on, where they gather around, come down from the trees, and they raise him up in the air. After this, everyone just runs away, and then this massive egg comes, and it looks like they're worshiping this golden egg. You know. And then eventually the girl walks this man to the lake, which is actually gravy, because the commercial is called All Hail Gravy. He grabs this man, puts him inside the gravy until he can no longer breathe. You can see the bubbles stop, so he's clearly unalived. She pulls him back up, and he's a fried piece of whatever the heck they call it, chicken. I mean, call it truth in plain sight. Call this just a joke. Call it clickbait. This is weird.
Hey, you know we've been saying this for years about this fast food. They be putting the truth in plain sight. It's up to you if you want to believe it or not. You know, why would they just make a commercial like that of a human being dipped in gravy and then out comes fried chicken? You know that can't be a coincidence. I told you they have to tell us the truth so they wouldn't get calmer. Because if they show us the truth and we're not doing anything about it, it's basically like we're accepting it.
What is it gonna take? What is it gonna take for us to listen? I'm like sick to my stomach, okay? I've heard the rumors and I'm guilty of it, taking my kids to go eat at McDonald's, but today took my girls to go get their normal Happy Meals and got a 10-piece for my 6-year-old, and she bit down one of her chicken nuggets and she says that, she hurt her teeth. And so I'm looking at it and I pull this out. She pulls this out. She hands it to me, Kay. And I'm freaking out. Baby, where's your tooth? What happened? How'd you lose a tooth? How did you lose a tooth in your chicken nuggets? It's not her tooth, y'all. This is not my baby's tooth. But this is a baby's tooth. This was someone's baby's tooth. This is disgusting, and this is what we're eating. This is what we're feeding our kids. This is a human tooth. This is a baby tooth, and I say baby no more than 6 years old. This is a tooth. Y'all, this is a baby tooth, and we're eating this shit. And you motherfuckers are still gonna go continue to eat from there. Look at this. What is it gonna take?
They took samples from California and found that human and rat DNA were found in burgers and other products. This report was put out by Clear Lab, and scientists did say that in fact they found human DNA and rat DNA, and other discrepancies were found in most, if not all, of the burgers that they tested. They tested 258 samples from 79 brands and 22 retailers, from retailers and fast food chains in Northern California. But of course, these are food chains all around the world. It's not just California, but this is where they took samples from. They used something called NGS, which is next generation genomic sequencing. Other tests, and they also screened for authenticity, minor substitution, contamination, gluten, fungi, toxic plants, and other allergens. Out of all of those 258 samples, Clear Lab says human DNA was found in one vegetarian burger, other burgers, and rat DNA was found in most of the fast food burgers, and even a vegetarian had ground human meat or something of the sort. Makes you wonder about that KFC advert. I am telling you, do not eat fast food meat. Remember how those Impossible burgers came out? Wasn't shit impossible. But yeah, I just thought I would drop that knowledge on you for...
I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening.
What do you mean by that, Shane, prayed over demonically?
So rituals, ceremonies, everything to bring, to give light to the devil, to Satan. It's a satanic music industry. That's majority of what it is.
Do you mean figuratively, or do you mean literally you've been in...
Literally, yes.
And
Not figuratively.
Can you share what those albums were? Were they your albums?
No, they weren't our albums, no. They were not Boyzone albums. So that's what I mean by not every music is that. But it was on the stepping stone to that. So you're going back to 1993s into 2000s. And then if you look at what the music is today, the industry is today, for all your Sam Smiths to your Dojo Cats to your Beyoncés they are so demonic, it's unbelievable. And we can't, it's in front of us. It's something that we kind of go, oh, it's just music. But it really isn't.
You know, like he said, it's a satanic music industry. Why would they just be promoting all of these evil things? If you look at all the big artists, they have something to do with some type of evilness. They literally putting it right in your face. But you just think, oh, it's regular. There's nothing to it. He literally said that they doing rituals over these albums that you listening to. You know, a lot of these celebrities are just puppets being used.
You got it. Look at that. Just my fucking bone in there. It ain't even connected my nail. You get it?
Alright. I'm trying to tell y'all. People ain't know the Titanic sunk on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know, and they monetized the shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say it's so much hidden knowledge, and people caught flack when I said this, but a lot of people liked it when I said that if the regurgitated version of the Bible that they gave us today helped black people or any people get out of their current situation, they would have never introduced it to us, which is true.
Right.
Because the Vatican has so much fucking like books, all type of architect. They have real knowledge that a lot of people ain't even ready for, but they give us this.
Right.
Anytime your enemy gives you something, it's not for your use, bro.
They gave us shackles.
That's all it is.
Wow.
And that's, see, listen, the Bible, like I say, the Bible is what keep broke people from killing rich people.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? That's the glue. You see what I'm saying?
What?
It's a belief system, bro. Everything is built around belief systems.
So literally every time you travel somewhere different, you're entering a different dimension. And here's why that's important, right? So if you guys don't know me, I'm Camila. I travel nomadically around the world without a plan so that I can heal my past lives and to make this one my best one. Okay, so now that you know me a little bit, on my way from Uruguay to Argentina, oh, the cutest little doggy. So anyway, on my way to a new city, a completely new country actually, I was having so many old thoughts about a particular person, but I knew that these thoughts weren't my own. I can tell that they were being brought up to be transformed rather than me naturally wanting to think about the person. And so I was thinking, why is my mind during a time of great change, I should be so excited, so happy, thinking about my past? And so after some deep digging, I recognized that I have programmed my mind to sabotage good moments, or not even sabotage, but to not be satisfied with the present, whether the present is good or bad. Growing up, I trained myself to live in my mind because that's where it was safe to fantasize or to not really be present. And the only reason I know this is because once again, during a time of great change, I couldn't even enjoy it. Well, not to the capacity that I know that I should have been. And that all ties into the other dimension thing, because now that I'm in a new space, new things came up for me to change. And so that's the real mission. I'm really living this life, and it's proven itself time and time again that every new location I'm at, I am different and for the better if I choose to be. So yeah, that's just a little bit of magic for you today. It truly is extraordinary. And I will be laying a new foundation of my identity to stop living in a fucking fantasy and to rather appreciate the now, whether good or bad, period.
Lethbridge, Jamaica is a mermaid magnet, and they caught this one on film. Now, mermaids are considered extremely dangerous in Jamaica, and not the typical beautiful women we are used to seeing in the northern parts of North America. Now, they also know when a mermaid is going to be active or is ready to make her appearance, with one local stating, "Whenever the river changes its color and gets dirty like now, that's when it's dangerous. That's usually when the mermaid is active." Some people came here in 2016 and walked up and down the river and came out harmed, with 6 people passing shortly after. Now, although the water is clear in this video, she still decided to show up with her hair appearing as a stark red color before slipping into the waves below.
Ela não grudou. Ela vai mexendo. Ela tem que ficar mais na água.
Pay attention to the water, not the skies. That's what I told all of you, but did you listen? No. And now multiple reports coming out of Florida are confirming from sailors, Navy officers, military personnel that there is in fact a mothership under the water off the coast of Daytona Beach, Florida. Now, there have also been sightings of over 1,000 different orbs that are floating above this mothership. I kept trying to tell you, I'm an air sign, but something kept saying, it's more about the water. It's the water. They're not showing up in the skies. There are going to be versions of them showing up in the sky, but pay attention to the water. When I got into that council meeting, all I could feel afterwards was, we're being misguided. We're being misdirected. It's not over the skies. It's in our oceans. And now people are coming forward claiming and saying that they've seen it. So and before you say photos or didn't exist, I have so many friends from Florida sending me videos and photos. I have them, but TikTok has this thing where it removes the video if you attach those. So I'm just gonna say, take what you will, leave what you won't, but I told you, pay attention to the water, not the sky. And obviously anything is for entertainment, education, conversation purposes only, but you're smart.
Pay attention to the water. You know, that also goes for tap water as well. Because, you know, I've noticed that the tap water's been looking a little different lately. I don't know if it's just me. But, you know, I feel like they put in more fluoride in there or something. And, you know, fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. But, you know, back to the ocean water. We know now that underwater is basically space. This is why they only explored 5% of it. There's probably whole civilizations underwater. And, you know, we just think it's a fantasy when it's really real.
Shh. Stay still. Stay still.
Now, if you think that woman's overreacting, then you really have no idea what she's up against. It's arguably the most dangerous animal the average American has never heard of. Alright, enough fluff. Those are javelinas. Also known as peccaries, they look like desert pigs. They're actually from a different family. They're the mascot of a sleeper build. They might look like some extra seasoned bacon, but they'll put you in a perma nap if you press them. The reason why? Those right there. They have tusks, and tusk stands for terrier like Kruger. Every year, people get sent to the ER after getting gored by this aggressive not a pig. One woman got mauled, and the peccary tore all the tendons in her arm to where she couldn't move her fingers. But it could have been worse because they're about yay high. If they catch the wrong part of your leg and sever your femoral artery, then you ought to be an obituary. you cooked, my guy. Like most animals, they're not out here looking for fays, but there's two good ways you can get got, and one is if you get too close to their spawn. They will run up on you in the name of parenthood. Speaking of run, as fast as you think they are faster. But things can get real critical if you're walking your dog. Why? Well, javelinas have a lot of predators. One of them are coyotes. And what's a dog to a peccary with canine bias? Yeah, your pet can get profiled and get y'all both packed up, and also since they travel in groups called squadrons, you can really get packed up by a squad of swine. Also, they have poor eyesight, so any movement can be a threat. So if you're ever in the US Southwest and peep a peccary, you're gonna want to keep your distance, make noise so they can avoid you, and if it gets close, throw something not at them, but near them. And remember, most injuries come from people walking into them or even feeding them, so mind your manners, you'll probably be alright. The more you know.
No. Okay, this is unbelievable. I'm standing here right next to the Great Pyramid of Giza, just outside Cairo, and there's literally a UFO circling right over the top of the pyramid right now. Look at that. It's moving slowly. It's like it's scanning the structure or something. I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's definitely not a helicopter or a drone. It's completely silent except for that weird humming noise. It's hovering directly above the pyramids right now. Almost like it knows exactly what it's doing. I swear this feels unreal. This is like history, guys. You're seeing exactly what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm witnessing. This is incredible. Over the pyramids of all places. What does this mean?
You tell me this whole time this meme was actually low-key on point? I mean, not directly on point, but they was pretty damn close. I'm talking about we may have just made the greatest discovery of our human existence so far. This is the Khafre Pyramid, and in the latest radar scan, they found a huge structure that was underneath and stretched between all three of these pyramids. I'm talking about 2 kilometers in depth. This is how deep this structure goes. Yeah, that's the Burj Khalifa, and this is what we're talking about. Exactly. Directly inside the pyramid, they scanned and found that there were 5 identical structures that were all geometrically connected. And underneath that, as we begin to go underground, there are 8 identical cylinders that are all hollowed out with this spiral staircase basically going around it. Now, this looked like some type of energy technology type of thing to me. I ain't no scientist, I'm not no technological expert, but I know some conducting shit when I see one. The cylinders alone were measured to be 648 meters. Then on top of that, they all came down and connected into these 2 gigantic fucking cubes. These 2 cubes are 80 by 80 meters. Now this stretches and connects underground between all 3 pyramids. And you gonna tell me that Tesla was not onto something? And I'm not talking about Elon the dweeb, I'm talking about Nikola Tesla. Tesla was one of the first people to come out and say, no, they were onto something with the pyramids, something with the triangle and the structures that had to be some sort of energy hub. And everyone was like, what, the Egyptians, they were stuck in the Stone Age, no type, slaves built that. And now, as you can see, this is an intricate scientific type of build that is built by people that were far more advanced than we give them credit for. Now the question is, will Egypt let us come excavate and explore more? Because most of the time, Egypt's like, yeah, no, these are historical 7 wonders of the world. You're not touching them. But now, with this latest radar scan, it's like, wait a second, this could be an energy hub that we have not tapped into. We need to go excavate. I'm just so happy I wasn't proven right, because it's not like I knew that what was going on, but I always had a feeling, I was looking like, they just build this as a tomb for one motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have been a great guy. But there was obvious reasons that there was these 3 right here in this specific point. And when you look at the math and the science, you're like, yeah, clearly, they was on to something. And now it's proven. 2 kilometers in depth. I can't get over this. That's mad deep underground. Like, that's crazy. How'd they even get down that far? And then to build identical structures, connect them with cubes, there's some type of wiring around the cylinders. It's like, yo, they was geniuses, son. We gotta stop playing with them. We need to go to Egypt immediately. I need more answers, because this is very interesting. What if we just unlock free energy for the world? That probably would not be good for us, because all of a sudden this will go into disappearance and it will no longer be a thing. And next thing you know, somebody dying. But for now, greatest discovery of my lifetime, this shit is insane.
You know, the technology that was being used back then is way more advanced than what we have today. You know, I don't believe that the pyramids was built by slaves. I believe that it was built by some intelligent people that know exactly what they were doing. And I believe all of this technology is being hidden from us. I feel like they know exactly how the pyramids were made. But you know, they just giving us these false stories. Remember, history is written by people who won the war. So who knows if what they telling us is completely the truth.
Someone had asked AI, what does the universe truly look like? And they wanted a picture. And this is what they gave them. Now hold on real quick. I zoomed in on this shit. Now I want y'all to peep this shit. This is like a different realm right here, right? And then you have a realm right here. Peep this though. This is supposed to be all of the different like star systems or whatever. But you know what I noticed in this shit, y'all? How there's boundaries and how there's a flat plane right there. You can see that, right? Now you know they be trying to tell us, bro. That's what AI is meant to do. Artificial intelligence. They're telling us that there are beings on the outside of this skirt that's looking inside, bro. Look, you can even see that there's cities and everything on the outside. And then if you look at the picture different, it's looking inwards. It's not a circle, like they're looking inwards, yo. I've been trying to tell y'all. Wake up!
No, the neighbors downstairs will come up. Much more stable than robots that you screaming
If you know that your world is a simulation, why are you reacting to anything negative that confronts you in your world? You know that it's just a projection from inside of you being projected out, and it's a simulation. You are living in a simulation. Why are you reacting to negative things? Why does it matter? If you know that it's being created from within you, it's something that you did to create that. Are you forgetting that you live in a simulation? Are you understanding it maybe for a few minutes, and then as you carry on through your day, the three-dimensional world, you're forgetting, and then you're reacting to different things, and you're corresponding, and you're reaching out to people thinking that you're living in a solid reality when you're not? Is that what's happening? Because whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through is just it's a trial and tribulation that you've created within yourself before it was projected out. Like a mirror, okay? You smile at a mirror, what do you get back? You get a smile right back at you. If you give a dirty look to yourself in the mirror, what do you get back? A dirty look. And the mirror, as we know, is the simulation. It's just mirroring back to you what's going on inside of you. So why are you getting upset and reacting to the mirror that's in front of you when it's not doing what you want it to do?
You know, why are you reacting to the mirror when the mirror is a reflection of what's inside of you? That's very deep. You know, I always leave a gem for you guys at the end. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys sub to the channel. We out, y'all. See you on the next video.